Right then folks, Greeno here. Where am I today? Well, I am down in Brighton. And today I'm bringing you another one of my little series about the worst reviewed restaurants on Google. And I come to the one that I think is probably the worst reviewed one here in Brighton. Now, where is it? It's on Brighton Pier, Brighton Palace Pier. Now, if you're going to put a tourist trap anywhere, right bang smack in the middle of the pier is probably as good a place as any, isn't it? But we're going to give it a fair crack and see whether we think these reviews are justified or not. Because some places, I think, are overrated online and some I think are underrated. So we're going to see which one this is. Now, I've had a little look through the Google reviews. They're not very positive. I mean, there's quite a few people who like it. But we've got things like the absolute worst restaurant I've ever eaten in. That's not exactly a ringing endorsement, is it? Worst battered sausage I've ever had. That's another one here. Worst fish and chips ever. The cod was totally tasteless, as were the frozen chips. Coffee was awful. The batter was like wood. Goodness me, that takes a certain skill, doesn't it? So, anyway, this place is called the Palm Court Restaurant. It's just behind me here. Let's get inside and find out what it's all about, shall we? Right, folks, I've come in and sat down on this kind of mad wooden chair. Basically, when I came in, I asked the guys if I could film in here, and they said they didn't want to get any customers or staff in the video at all. That's absolutely fine. So, just tuck myself into a little corner. You can see it's kind of a sunny day behind me, and I can see out over the sea from where I'm sat, so it's quite nice. I've got to say, the restaurant, the way it's set up, there's loads of different kinds of seating. There's little tables like I'm on, there's booth seating, there's bigger tables. Something for everyone, really, and it looks nice and clean in here, I will say that. So we've got the menu here, and it's a pretty standard looking kind of menu. You've got your fish and chips, you've got a few different starters, but they're all kind of stuff that just gets thrown in a deep fryer. And then in the mains you've got things like sausage and mash, fish cakes, burgers, lasagna. Fairly standard kind of fare, I would guess. More marinado as well, which is a bit of a mad one, isn't it? I suppose we are by the seaside, but I'm not sure you get mussels around this part of the world. Anyway, I think we'll steer clear of that. We're going to go old school, keep it simple. We're by the seaside, it's got to be fish and chips, hasn't it? Prime cod fillet. Each fillet is hand cut in-house, coated in our famous crispy batter, and served with freshly cut chips or salad. We're going for salad, am I? We're going to take that with chips, and we're going to order some mushy peas on the side. Now the cod fillet is $16.75 with chips, and the mushy peas will be $2.75. Apologies if the lighting kind of changes. I'm sat right near a window, and any time the sun comes out from behind the clouds, it's right in my eyes. There we are, such is life. I'm going to get some tea to go with that as well. And yeah, hopefully it'll be enjoyable. There we go, I sat myself back in my chair a little bit to try and block out some of the sunlight, just for a little bit. Now I'm really interested to see what this is all about, because I always think it's a real missed opportunity. If you've got somewhere right near the seaside, and you don't do things well, there's just no excuse for it, is there? No excuse. You've got a captive audience who are looking for fish and chips by the seaside. Differentiate yourself from all the people down the seafront not doing a great job. Just do something great. So, will this place be the place to do that? We'll see. We'll see. Like I say, the reviews are mixed. Some people really, really love it here. Some say it's awful. And it is a matter of personal taste with some of this stuff, isn't it? Gotta say though, I quite like it so far. I do quite like it. I think the restaurant is designed quite nicely. Like I say, spotlessly clean. The staff are really friendly. No issues so far. No issues. Now, I've just had my tea delivered to the table, folks, and this is a completely new one on me. So, you've got a teapot here, which is a nice little touch, isn't it? One slight problem. The tea bag isn't in it. I've been given my own tea bag to make my tea. Now, of course, I don't know exactly how long this water has been in this pot, but it's cooling by the second, isn't it? And you need boiling hot water for tea. But at least it's PG tip, so it's a half decent tea bag. It's not some cheapy one from the cash and carry. But yeah, I just find that a little bit unusual. So anyway, let's get that in there, get that brewing up. a nice cup here to go with it, and some milk in a little jug. So it's served nicely. Got a little Biscoff here, some sugar too. Just find that a bit odd. Okay guys, this lighting's not getting any easier. The sun has properly come out now from behind the clouds, so it's casting shadows everywhere. But that's throughout the whole restaurant. There's not much I can do about it, unfortunately. Right, let's get a bit of this tea going on now. Hopefully it's had enough time to brew to a decent kind of consistency. There we go. A little bit of milk in there. As you can see, the fish and chips has arrived. So what do we make of that? Well, the brew, yeah, it kind of looks okay. Perfectly fine. There's probably going to be another half a cup, I would say, in that little pot there. What have we got here food-wise? We have the fish. Gotta say, it looks a bit greasy to me on the outside, but maybe a little bit kind of overdone. I don't know. It's quite a dark-looking colour, isn't it? As you can see here, if I bring it in a bit closer to you, actually you probably can't see because the shadows are blooming awful. The chips here, they are not fresh. These are like steak chips, decent chips, but out of a freezer bag. And the mushy peas here are served in this little paper thing, the kind of thing you put sauces in. £2.75. Look at the size of this. That is about a third of a tin of mushy peas, I reckon. We shall, as the Macmaster says, we'll reserve judgment on that. Right. I'm going to move these chips out of the way a second, because I want to get into this fish. Right. Let's cut right down the middle of it and see how it is inside. Now, this is cod. It looks quite a nice thick piece. So here we go. I mean, the actual piece of fish looks pretty good to me. Look at that, nice and white, nice and thick and chunky. No complaints over the portion size of it, that's for sure. I say the batter possibly looks a touch on the greasy side, but we'll give it a try. Try it on its own first. We've got a little pot of tartar sauce here, but we do also have more sachets of it. There's quite a nice little condiments tray over here with some ketchup, salt. Actually, we'll put some salt on now. There we go. And there's vinegar there too, etc. Right. Let's get this tried then, shall we? It's quite hot. Now that's interesting to me. Like I say, I think the batter possibly is a little greasy. I do wonder whether they've cooked it a bit longer because it's quite a thick piece of fish. But the fish itself, inside that batter, is sweet, it's juicy, the flakes of it come away beautifully. Again, not sure if you can pick that up on the camera, there we go. Nice flakes of fish. And tasty. Cod is quite delicate, but the flavour of it is good. Let's try some of this batter kind of by itself. Let's take the fish out of that a little bit. It is crispy. It's not the worst batter I've had by any stretch. Maybe not the best, but it's okay. It's okay. It tastes better than it looks. Chips next. Now we're going to add some salt and vinegar to those. And you know the way I do it, folks. Salt first. Vinegar. Sarson's malt vinegar here, which is good. Nice when you've got branded products. And then we stick a little bit more salt on top to replace whatever the vinegar's just washed away. Okay, so let's try one of these chips. Served in this little bowl thing here. I think that's pretty much to hide the portion size a touch. They're not the best, they're a little dry. If I can show you. Again, have a little look inside if you can. I mean, it's fluffy-ish inside, but it's just a touch dry. Would have been much better to have proper chips rather than frozen ones. Let's get into these mushy peas. I mean, I can't say I'm overly impressed with the presentation just in this little paper cup or the portion size. I mean, it's just a regular tinned mushy pea, but I mean, it's not that bad. I don't mind it. Clearly not made here on the premises and therefore wildly overpriced at £2.75 a portion. Because if you're buying this in tins, that's what, 10-15 pence worth probably. Possibly a touch on the strong side. Tartar sauce now. And again, this doesn't look homemade to me. It's just a relatively thin kind of mayo-y consistency. Try it with some of this fish. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Would it be better to have a homemade one? Sure. But it's alright. A little sweeter than I'd like it, ideally. I like my tartar sauce to be quite sharp with plenty of capers and gherkins and stuff in there. Okay. Let's give the tea a try. Not tried that yet, have we? It's a nice enough brew. Should be. I've made it myself. And I'm going to be interested to see, actually, what I get charged for this tea. Because on the menu here on my table, it says £2.75. If I look to the table to my left over here, hot drinks, tea is £3. Which will it be? Which will it be? We shall have to wait and see. Anyway, I'm going to crack on with this. And we'll get together and talk about it at the end. Yeah, a bit of a mixed bag. I'm not sure if it's as bad as some people are saying it is. Right then, folks, so what do we think about the Parle Court restaurant here on Brighton's Pier? Do you know what? I don't think it's as bad as some of the Google reviews were saying. Was it perfect? No. Is it the best fish and chips I've ever had? No. But there were bits of it that were all right, actually. The fish itself, I think the actual piece of fish was great. Really nice, thick piece of cod. Nice and sweet tasting. I like that. I just think it was probably cooked a little too long in that batter, which made the batter a bit greasy. But it was crispy. No doubt it was crispy. The chips were a letdown. There's no excuse. If you buy the seaside, just get some spuds and make some chips. It's not that difficult. It wasn't that busy there today. So I understand in terms of like a portion control kind of thing, it's easier to keep frozen chips than it is to keep potatoes. But potatoes keep for a while, don't they? So yeah, that's a bit of a disappointment. The mushy peas, overpriced, certainly at £2.75 a portion, because they were just tinned mushy peas. But, you know, not too bad, not too bad. The flavour of them was fine. I just think, yeah, it's too much money when you know you've only got about 15, even 20 pence worth maybe, of mushy peas, and they're charging £2.75 for it. The tea. It's like tea by IKEA. They sell you the individual parts, you've got to build it yourself. But, you know, it was a nice brew by the time I made it, so I can't really complain too much. How much was it on the bill? £3. So the one on my table was wrong. It said £2.75 on my table. It was £3, so they should replace that. So let's run through this bill. So as I just mentioned, the tea's £3, the prime cod fillet with chips £16.75, and the mushy peas £2.75. A 10% service charge on there. It doesn't say optional service charge, and I wasn't really given much of an opportunity. Oh, look at this! They come to drive me down the pier by the looks of it. Can I hop on the back there? Save me a walk? No, apparently not. Yes, so the service charge doesn't say it's an optional service charge. It just says 10% service charge, £2.26. And basically the bill was brought over and the payment machine at the same time, so I didn't really have a chance to look at the bill before I paid. So, I mean, I could have done, I suppose, and just let the guy stand there for a couple of minutes, but yeah. I think it's a little bit cheeky if it's not an optional service charge. What do I think overall though? Do you know what? I mean, the restaurant itself is actually quite nice inside. All the different seating areas, spotlessly clean. No issue with that at all. The staff were really friendly. No issue there. The food, definite ups and downs. But, you know, no worse than a lot of tourist trap places are. Probably better than a lot of them are. Definitely better than that one I had up in London recently, for example. Score. Tricky one. I mean, is it a sort of 2.5 maybe out of 5? Although I did get some stick for how generous I've been being on this series so far, so maybe it should be a little bit lower than that. Maybe a sort of 2.3 out of 5, something like that. 2.3 out of 5, 2.5 out of 5, that kind of ballpark. I mean, is it enough that I think it's the worst food place in Brighton? I bet you there are worse than that here. I bet you there are. Every seaside town has some absolute stinkers, don't they? So I would not be surprised if there are worse places than that in here. And I think, given its position here, bang smack in the middle of the pier, people are going to use it. And, you know, yeah, it's not the best. It's a little bit pricey, but it's fine. It's fine. Would I bring Mrs. Greeno here on a date? No. If I was in the arcades playing with Littlin and she wanted something to eat, sausage and chips or something, yeah, we'd come here. So, yeah, I think that's about fair. Like I say, I might have to go back and revise the scores on some of my other videos in this little series to kind of correspond with how I'm thinking about this one. But I think that's about right. Does it get Greeno's green light? Not really, but it doesn't. It's not a red light. It's not a red light. Definite amber light kind of territory. Yeah, it is what it is. Right then, folks, if you've enjoyed this video looking at the Palm Court restaurant here on Brighton Pier, Brighton's worst Google reviewed restaurant, a little unfairly I think probably, then don't forget, click a thumbs up on there for me. It does help with the channel. And if you've enjoyed this one, why not take a little look through the vault, see what else is on there, and if you enjoy some more, consider subscribing, dinging your bell for notifications, all that good stuff us YouTubers love. Right. Oh, hang on. There's an ambulance coming. I didn't eat enough of the chips to give me a heart attack. It's fine. I will see you on the next one, folks. Bye for now.